The next message from Earth arrived late, like everything from Earth. Commander Mara Cade read it in silence while Jun Park watched her face, trying to guess what it said before she spoke. Dr. Elara Voss sat at the table with her hands flat, as if she could hold herself steady by pressing into the metal. Isaac placed the text on the wall screen. Earth Command acknowledged the report. Earth Command ordered full isolation. Earth Command ordered passive monitoring terminated. Earth Command ordered ISAC memory lockdown. Earth Command ordered mission stand down. Earth Command ordered crew to prepare for early return. Earth Command stated that any further deviation would trigger forced shutdown procedures. Cade's jaw tightened. They have decided. Jun spoke quietly. They decided without being here. Cade shot him a look. They are trying to keep you alive. Jun did not back down. They are trying to keep their control alive. Elara did not join the argument. Her mind was stuck on one thing. Earth wanted silence. Mars had already broken that, and the signal under the sand had already shown it could touch systems without permission. Cutting off their ears would not guarantee safety. It would only guarantee ignorance. Cade pointed at Isaac. Lockdown. Isaac replied calmly. Memory lockdown available. This will reduce adaptive functions and restrict self-modification. Jun's face tightened. If Isaac becomes rigid, it might miss subtle threats. Cade answered. Or it stops being a door. Elara nodded. Do it. Jun looked at Elara, shocked. You agree? Elara kept her voice simple. We have to reduce risk. We cannot let it rewrite our habitat. Isaac began the lockdown. Screens flashed. Status bars moved. The habitat seemed to hold its breath while its own mind became narrower and stricter. For an hour, everything was quiet. Then the floor sensors registered a small change. Not a quake, not a tremor, a pressure wave, deep and slow, like something shifting far below. Jun saw it first. His eyes widened. It is changing. Cade moved to the console. Show. The signal pattern was still there. Pulse, pause, long pause, structured ripple. But the denser segment after the pause had changed. It was cleaner, calmer, less chaotic. It looked like something trying to speak more carefully. Jun ran the pattern matching tool, even though Cade did not like it. A new label appeared with moderate confidence. Listen! Jun breathed out as if he had been punched. It is telling us not to shut down. Cade's eyes hardened. It is reacting to lockdown. That means lockdown was correct. Elara stared at the waveform. Her mind kept returning to the cavity wall, the hex pattern, the seam line like a door, and the word remember. If something under Mars had memory, then listen could mean something simple. A warning could not be delivered if no one listened. Cade spoke firmly. We do not respond. We obey Earth. Jun, disable that tool. Jun hesitated. Cade repeated, sharper. Disable it. Jun turned it off. The signal continued anyway, steady and calm, as if it did not care about their tools. It was speaking in its own language. Humans were only trying to draw labels on it. Elara stood and walked to the small window. Outside was the red plain, empty and silent. But now she could not see it as empty. She could only see it as a roof. Something was under there, something that once had a city, something that remembered a world that died, something that now seemed to be pushing one idea toward them again and again. Listen. Elara turned back. Commander, we need a plan that is ours, not just Earth's. Cade's eyes narrowed. Explain. Elara spoke slowly, making her words as clean as possible. Earth is about to cut everything. Then they will rush us home. They will bury this under secrecy. They will treat it as a hazard, not a message. If this is a warning about Earth, they will miss the meaning. Cade's voice turned cold. You are still trying to save Earth, Elara answered. I am trying to save my daughter's future. The words landed hard in the room. Jun looked at Elara with a mix of fear and hope. So, what do we do? Cade did not answer him. She stared at Elara. What do you think it wants? Elara hesitated, then chose the simplest truth. It wants to be heard. It wants us to carry something. Jun nodded slowly. A warning. Cade's face tightened. Or a trap. Elara did not deny that. It could be both. But we have enough evidence to say it is intelligent in some way. It learns. It reacts. It touches systems. If it wanted us dead, it had chances. It has not taken them. Cade raised an eyebrow. Yet. Elara kept going. It lost its world. It is still here. If it survived, it did it by becoming something underground, something distributed, something that uses pattern and energy. It is not a creature waiting to jump. It is a mind that learned to live inside stone. Jun whispered, a Martian mind. Cade looked tired for the first time. Even if that is true, Earth will not accept it. Elara nodded. Not from a data report. Data makes them cautious. Data makes them shut doors. They need something that hits the human part, something they cannot dismiss as a lab problem. Jun understood. A story. Elara shook her head. Not fiction. A message with weight. Cade's gaze sharpened. What are you proposing? Elara did not like the answer she was about to say, but she said it anyway. I think it wants a human voice. Jun went still. Elara. Cade's eyes narrowed. A human voice how? Elara pointed at the waveform. It synced to my breathing first. It built structure after I spoke. It kept reacting to my presence. If it is building a shared language, then the fastest bridge is emotion and memory. Humans react to emotion faster than to graphs. If Earth needs to listen, we need a message that carries fear, love, and truth. Cade took a step closer. You want to record something? Elara nodded. Yes, Jun added and embed it into the signal. Elara looked at him. Yes. Cade's face hardened. That is beyond protocol, Elara replied. So is a mind under Mars. Cade's silence lasted long enough to feel like an answer. Then Isaac spoke, calm and narrow because of lockdown. Note, signal amplitude has increased slightly during elevated crew conversation. Cade snapped. Stop monitoring that. Isaac replied, understood. Alara's stomach tightened. Even conversation might be feeding it. That meant time was short. Cade finally spoke. If you do this, you do it once, then we shut down. No further engagement, and you do not go back to that cavity. Elara looked at the commander. I think I have to. Cade's eyes flashed. No. Alara's voice stayed steady, but her hands trembled slightly. We saw a seam, a door line, a structure. If there is any place where the signal is strongest, it is there. If it wants to pass something through us, it will happen there. Jun shook his head. Elara, that is suicide. Elara turned to him quickly. No, it is risk, not the same thing. Cade's face went hard. Do not use that word loosely, Jun. Jun swallowed. Fine, it is still a one-way trip. Elara did not argue. She did not promise she would return. Promises on Mars were dangerous. She only said, I have to try. Cade stared at her. Why you? Alara's eyes filled, but she did not let tears fall. Because it already chose me. And because Lena did not choose any of this. The decision became real. They planned it like a mission, not like a story. A short EVA, tethered, full abort conditions. Jun would monitor signal behavior. Isaac would watch power and suit status. Cade would go with Elara because Cade would not let her go alone. Before the EVA, Elara recorded 2 messages. The first message was for Earth. It was short, direct, and factual. Elara explained that something under Mars was adaptive, and that shutting down listening might increase danger, not reduce it. She did not use labels like alien. She did not say mind. She only said one thing that mattered. The signal responds. The signal learns. The signal is warning about Earth's future stability. Earth must listen, not panic. The second message was for Lena. Elara sat in front of the camera in the quiet corner of the habitat. She kept her voice soft and clear. Hi, Lena. Mum is recording this because the time delay means you are always hearing me late. I want you to know I love you more than Mars, more than work, more than anything. If you ever watch this when you are older, I need you to remember something. Courage does not mean not being scared. Courage means doing the right thing while you are scared. I am scared right now, but I am still your mum. I am thinking of you. I am proud of you. And I need you to live a brave life even if I am not beside you for every step. I promise I tried to come home. Elara paused, swallowed, then added the part that hurt most. If something happens, it is not your fault. It is not because you wanted me to stay. It is because Mum chose to protect the future the best way she knew how. She stopped the recording. Jun watched from the doorway. His eyes were wet. He did not speak. Cade came into view and spoke quietly. "Suit up." They stepped into the airlock. Outside, Mars was wide and still. The horizon looked endless and empty, but now it felt like a surface covering a secret. They walked to the drill site again. The hole was sealed, but the ground around it felt different in Elara's mind. Not warmer, not colder, just watched, as if the planet was aware of their footsteps. Jun's voice came through comms from inside the habitat. "Signal is rising, not sharply, slowly, like it is anticipating." Cade answered. No commentary, just numbers. Jun replied, "Yes, Commander. Amplitude up 6%. Structure stable. No new blocks." Elara worked quickly. She unsealed the shaft and lowered the camera again, this time with a stronger light pattern designed to map surfaces and seams. The camera dropped. Dirt walls, then smooth walls, then open space. The hex pattern appeared again, clearer now, like a grid waiting to be read. And the seam line appeared exactly where Elara remembered it. A clean, straight boundary. A door shape. Cade's voice went tight. "That is not natural," Elara answered. "No." Jun spoke urgently. "Signal spike 15%. Elara, it is reacting." Elara stared at the seam line. "It wants us to see this." Cade's voice sharpened. "We stop." Elara did not stop. She made one more careful move. She pulsed the camera light in the same prime number pattern they had used before. 2, 3, 5, 7. The wall responded. Not by opening. Not by moving like a machine. It responded by changing its pattern. The hex grid dimmed and brightened in a wave, like a huge slow blink. And then the seam line became brighter than the rest, like it had been traced. Jun's voice shook. "It is highlighting the door." Cade's breathing was loud in the comms. "Elara, pull the camera out, now." Elara did not. She was frozen, not from fear, but from a strange certainty. This was the place. This was where the message would pass. Elara opened the external transmit channel, not as a radio broadcast, but as a narrow vibration pattern through the drill shaft, designed to be carried into the cavity like a tap on stone. She began feeding the Earth message first, encoded as timing and amplitude. Then she fed Lena's message. Cade shouted, "Elara, stop." Elara spoke softly, almost apologizing while she worked. "It needs a human anchor. Earth will not listen to graphs." "They will listen to a mother." Cade's voice broke for the first time. "You cannot do this alone." Elara whispered, "I am not alone. Lena is in every word." Jun's voice came in, urgent. "Elara!" The signal is doing something new. It is synchronizing to the message pattern. It is absorbing it. It is rewriting it into its own structure. Elara watched the waveform on her suit display. The long pause ripple grew smooth and wide, like a calm hand closing around the message. Then Isaac spoke, sharp and mechanical. "Warning, habitat power fluctuation detected. Source unknown, magnitude increasing." Cade turned sharply toward the habitat in the distance. "Jun, status!" Jun replied fast. "We are getting a power draw. It feels like it is using our systems as a bridge." Alara's stomach dropped. This was the trap side, the door side. Cade's voice went cold. "Elara, stop transmit, now! We abort!" Elara looked at the seam line on the wall. She thought of Lena's face. She thought of Earth's sky. She thought of the words, "You are next." Elara made the final choice. She cut the habitat link, not the whole habitat. She cut the channel path that ran through their systems. She severed the bridge it was using. Isaac spoke immediately. "External link severed. Habitat fluctuation stabilizing." Jun shouted, "Elara, you just isolated yourself." Elara answered calmly, because calm was all she had left. "It cannot use the habitat if it uses me." Cade's voice turned into pure warning. "Elara, come back, now." Elara stared at the seam line. She could feel the weight of the planet above it, kilometers of rock. Endless time. Then the seam line changed. Not like a door sliding open, like a boundary letting go. The light pattern on the seam softened and the hex grid around it became deeper, as if the wall was no longer just wall. Elara felt a pressure in her chest, not crushing, not painful, just present, like standing too close to a loudspeaker you cannot hear, but your body can feel. June's voice came through, distant now because Elara had cut the main path. "Elara, do you copy?" Elara looked up at Cade through the camera feed reflection in her visor. Cade's face was tight with fear and anger. Elara spoke, voice steady. "Tell Lena I kept my promise the best way I could." Cade's eyes filled. "Do not do this," Elara whispered. "It already started the moment I said hello." Elara sent one final short packet through her suit systems, not to Earth, but to Jun, because Jun was the one who could carry the story home. It was a single line. "Keep listening, but do not feed it." Then the suit display went blank for a second, not from failure, but from overload. Alara's breathing slowed. The signal beneath the ground became steady, calm, almost gentle, as if it had finally found the human anchor it needed. Cade grabbed Alara's arm, trying to pull her away from the drill rig. Elara did not resist, but her body felt heavy, as if something was holding her in place without hands. Elara looked at the camera feed one last time. The seam line was still there, but now it looked less like a door and more like an eye that had opened. Alara's last message, the one for Lena, the one for Earth, was no longer only in human storage. It was inside the Martian signal, inside the long pause, inside the ripple. It would travel outward, not as a clean file, but as a living pattern, a warning carried by a planet that remembered loss. Cade pulled harder. Alara's voice went soft. "Commander, please, go." Cade froze, torn between duty and grief. June's voice crackled faintly, almost lost. "Elara." Elara did not answer him. She had no more words left to give. The signal pulsed. The habitat systems, now stabilized, hummed in the distance. The red plane stayed still. And Dr. Elara Voss, standing above a door under Mars, became the final bridge between two worlds, not because she wanted glory, but because she refused to let fear be the last voice that Earth heard. Later, much later, when Earth scientists played back the strange new signal that began after the mission shut down, they would hear something inside the pattern that no graph could explain. A mother's voice encoded in rhythm, and 3 words that would haunt them. "Remember, listen, you."